This is going to be a quick video about negative exponents. The rule is that if you have x to the negative n, it really is equal to 1 over x to the positive n. Similarly, if you have the 1 over x to the negative n, it becomes just x to the positive n. So what we do with negative exponents is we move that negative exponent to the other part of the fraction, and then that exponent becomes positive. In our first example, we have 3 to the negative second. Following our rule, where x is 3 and n is 2, it's negative, we do 1 over, the 3 stays the same, but this n, this negative 2, becomes a positive 2. So this becomes 1 over 3 to the positive 2, which is 1 over 9. So that answer is 1/9. In our second example, we use that same first rule, and it becomes 1 over 100 to the positive 1/2. Well, if you are confused on how to do fractional, aka rational exponents, please watch the video on that. I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but this really means the square root of 100, and so this solution is 1/10. Now note that when we have a negative exponent, we are not going to have a negative answer. In fact, no matter what you raise, no matter what your exponent is ever, negative, 0, or positive, you'll always get a positive answer out. Okay, here are 2 more examples with a negative exponent. When we have 8 to the negative second, that means we can rewrite it as 1 over 8 to the positive second, which is 1/64. Here we have a negative base, but we still follow the same rule. This will be 1 over negative 8 to the negative 2/3. When we rewrite that rational exponent, it's going to look like the cube root of negative 8, and then that gets squared. When we do that, we'll see that the cube root of negative 8 is negative 2, and then that gets squared, and our final answer is 1/4. Okay, our last example is negative 27 to the negative 1/3. This means we're going to do 1 over negative 27 raised to the positive 1/3, which means we are taking the cube root of negative 27 and then raising it to the first power. The cube root of negative 27 is negative 3. Raising negative 3 to the first power keeps it as negative 3. Now with a fraction, we want to put the negative just out front of the fraction instead of in the denominator.